Hello there everybody, this is Grant, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome to another Transformers Generation 1 review. Now, I have reviewed these quite a long time ago. I can't remember if I ever reviewed them after, well, almost, I've been on here nearly 10 years, so it would have been a good 8-9 years ago. I can't remember if I'd done them since then, but I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do them again. So this is part one of a two-part sort of video thing with this guy, which is APEFACE, and of course I'm going to do Snapdragon, and these are the Headmaster Horicons. Now, I think that they really summed them up well when they called them the Horicons, because from my point of view, these guys are a horror story of their own. They epitomise to me everything that was bad about Hasbro making Transformers back around 1987-ish, 88. Because I applaud them for their innovation and everything like that, but the way they executed it, it screams of what they're doing these days, really. Just by cheaping out on some aspects, thinking, oh, do you know what, children won't mind that, and all that rubbish that they come out with. And I'll come to that as we go through it. Right, so this is his spaceship mode. I'll come to that in a second. Let's show you Spasma here. This was his Headmaster, and I actually quite like Spasma. I didn't have him as a child. I always wanted these guys, but I never got them. I liked him. He's got some articulation there. And he's got some arm articulation, obviously. And there's his head unpainted. Mine is a bit loose at the waist joint there. Now, of course, he's got the other head there because he does transform twice, which is quite a kind of novel. But we'll come to that in a minute. We'll pop him over there. And then we're going to come to APEFACE, which is, well, APEFACE is Spaceship Mode, and it's not bad. It's not bad. I do like this one. This is probably my favourite mode. Now, his robot mode would have been my favourite, but we'll come to that as well. So it's alright. He's got some nice wings. This bit detaches. Unfortunately, does become a shield in robot mode. Now, I like to use these, well, they're going to become his gorilla feet as sort of like jet thrusters, but you can just have them out to the back. It looks a bit silly when you do that. I think this is the actual official mode. I could be wrong, and it just looks weird to me, so I put them up there. I know then it's not really aerodynamic with the tail fins, but to me it just looks slightly better, so there we go. Mine has been scratched up to high heaven by whoever owned it before me, but it's still pretty good. I repro labeled him up, and it actually looks not too bad now. Right, let's transform him. Here we go. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is detach this. Do you know what I'm going to do first of all, actually? I'm going to transform this guy. Now, this is as good as it gets. Transforms into his gorilla head. Now, the gorilla head, if I can get it to zoom in on it there, it's all right. It's not too bad. I wish I'd painted the teeth in. These arm bits come up and just look like he's got a very strange hairstyle or something. I don't know. Anyway, right, so we're going to close these wings up. Then what we're going to do, this is where it all gets very confusing. I remember I bought this back in about mid-90s. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing because it's just a car crash of things that you have to do. Yeah, so I bought this back in the mid-90s, and for the longest time, this is before the internet, anything like that. I never had no instructions for him because I just bought the figure on its own. You just sort of had to work it out, and I could not work this guy out. I had trouble with him, and I had trouble with Snapdragon, trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to look like in this mode. This just does not tab in, it just sort of sits there. These are his robot arms. Use that little tab there to get these bits out. Just flick them out. Oh dear. And then he's got another little tab. These are going to become his little hands. I say hands because I was under the impression that gorillas had proper hands rather than a couple of little hooks, but there we go. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Right, here's his gorilla mode. Now we take our Headmaster head, jam it into this little section up here, move my camera while I'm at it, and there he is. Don't use these two bits, we'll just get them out of the way. It's pardon me. I'm not sure. It would be good if this section collapsed onto this more to bring these arms more forward. Then And you've got more articulation down here to have these actually standing, because at the moment you try and it don't look right to me. It looks weird, odd, and a horror story. And I don't know. It's something. And these robot arms, you can tell they're robot arms because you can see them. They hang off his legs, and nothing you can do with them. You can't hide them. You can't do anything. Bizarre. Let's take him to robot mode. Now, this is marginally better. I'll say marginally, and we're going to come to that in a second as well. Right, so we flip all this stuff away. Bring that round there. Then what we're going to do, sort of rotate these just out the way. Bring these out, which are going to become his robot legs. Now, I'll give him this. These do a great job of standing him up. You bring these down, and then rotate these down. Bring his arms down, give him a little extra length there. Come along, and he's got not too bad head sculpt, actually. I like the Titans Return version. I wish they would do an updated version of this guy, because I'm sure they'll do a lot better job these days than they did back in 1987, is it? Now, he's not too bad. Let's give him his shield. That comes up and tabs up there. And his gun. I used to have two of these a long time ago, and I did have them for the longest time, but then I sold one on eBay. Now, the biggest problem with this, he's got some good articulation. He's got some good articulation. There's legs, you know, and he's got little wheels for kneecaps. The biggest problem with this is this backpack that he's got that hangs off his arse, and it doesn't tab in. It just, on my one, it's a bit loose. Maybe it'd be better if it was stiff, but it's not. And so it just falls down all the time. And the only way I can figure out how to fix it is to jam it or wedge it up on that bit. Which we're going to become his robot. And that, when it works, it was working earlier, it don't want to work now. So let's try on this side. Is that going to be better? No, it worked earlier, and it's certainly ain't bloody doing it now. It just does not want to stay there. It is a pain. But once you do get it there, it will stay there. Yeah. And now, obviously, being a headmaster, I almost forgot this, is his gimmick. And then you've got his speed, strength, and intelligence, which is kind of cool, and I like that. But just that backpack is unforgivable. It's unforgivable. If it just tabbed in, I could forgive it, because G1 figures were full of kibble and full of awful things hanging off them. But because it don't tab in, and because maybe over time it's just loosened up, it is a big eyesore. One thing I did forget to mention. You can actually put Spasma into the cockpit. You can open it up and he will happily fit in there. And when I store this guy away, that's where he goes. Pardon me. Yeah, I do still have bronchitis at the moment, so I'm still coughing a little bit. I will try and edit them out. If I'm coughing a lot, I'll edit them out. But through this one, I've only coughed twice, so I think we can forgive that. Anyway, right, so he's okay. I can live with him. Right, but he is G1, and you've got to love him for that. Yeah. Anyway, right, this has been Graham, the Collector75. You can follow me on Instagram at the Collector75. Yeah, that's it. And, of course, you can support my channel using the links below. And, of course, you can subscribe, share the video, and all manner of things these days. Right, so this has been Graham, the Collector75. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.